So okay, you guys want the secret goo? Like you guys want to know like yo how does Pac do it? Like what does he do to like get like quote unquote good at the game? I'll show you the trick. I'll show you the trick. So this is literally what I did. I went like here. I'm like. This is what I did. Type in Chris Pervic, GOAT format. I listened to discussions about GOAT. Bro, I went. This is what I did. This is a secret. I'm telling you. This is a secret. You guys want to get good at the game and like learn about like stuff, bro. You gotta like these people are putting out hella dope. Yo, Deadly, what's good, bro? Did you win, Deadly? Yo, let's go, Deadly. Yo, shout out to my boy Deadly. Follow his Twitch, man. Twitch.tv/DeadlyB7. Another Matt 1W. Got that Discord. Is insane. Oh my god. Deadly didn't come in here swearing. Oh my god. Nah, congrats, bro. Congrats. Like, look at. Like, this is the stuff that I was talking about. This is like the type of content that I think is like not a lot of people do, like competitive wise, but it's like we're really good content, which is like walking through your gameplay, basically walking through your thought process as you play a duel. That stuff is like I feel like one of the best content at helping you get better, because this type of content is what helped me get better. Like walking through like plays, like walking through all my plays and all my options, because basically the idea is that like every time you play Yu-Gi-Oh, you're given like a bunch of decision trees. And or like you're basically given like a bunch of like roads or path you can walk down, and finding that right path to walk down is really hard. But like you want to first of all analyze all the possible decisions you can make, and then analyze like what's the best decision out of all those decisions to make that would give you the highest percentage to win the entire game. But the thing is, obviously, when we play in person, you don't have that much time to think, quite frankly, right? It's not dueling book. You don't have 10 hours to make a play. I've seen people like take 5 minutes from an Hermetic Seal. But the idea is that when you do that brain exercise more and more often, more and more on DB, and you practice it a lot and in a bunch of repetition, your thought process becomes a lot faster. You start seeing the plays and the decisions and what's presented to you a lot quicker. And you decide what the best decision is, in the span of like literally like 20, 30 seconds. You know what I'm saying? At me, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like people start making those decisions and making the right decisions a lot quicker, but that comes with practice. I've seen people take 5 minutes to make a Hermetic Seal. It's so painful. Yeah, like it's, and like, you know what I mean? Like that's the thing. Like it's one thing to like take all of this knowledge, right, that you see and practice, but then the other thing is to translate that to in-person gameplay as well. That's the other important thing. But the thing is, playing on DB, I feel like because you take so much time to think, I'm not saying it's like a bad thing. I'm not downplaying people who just play only DB. But what I actually like DB for this reason, that like a lot of people who spend a lot of time to like think and make the right decisions, hopefully like as you start converting to like more in-person play and like you start playing like tournaments and all that good stuff, you get to decision making a lot quicker, right? Because if you don't, you're about to get a slow play warning, realistically. But it's first of all, some people don't even see the right plays at all, right? And that's like really, really hard. Yeah, he walks through all the plays. Yes, yeah, I like this. Like, so this gave me so much information about the GOAT and like the card pool. Like, look, he's gonna explain like all the cards that threatens a set flip monster. But for me, who's like trying to like learn GOAT, like I don't understand the card pool. I don't know like why setting a flip effect monster could be quote unquote bad. I don't know why it's potentially fine. Like I don't understand that. But this is where like the really the value really comes in. Right, like Rhoda gets Exile Force, pops this. Like you can get clucked by the knock, like you can clucked by Blade. You know what I'm saying? Like there's so many cards. I'm like, but in my head I'm like, oh okay, I never really thought about it like that. I'm just like I see it. I'm like I'm just gonna set this and pass. You know what I mean? But He sets a card before he attacks, right? Like, so now in my head, like he's gonna explain like this. I watched this entire video already. I thought it was like really dope. Like he also, bro, I think he spent like a couple minutes explaining this like one play. It was insane. So like I mean, bro, I didn't even think about. I'm like, ah shit. I guess the order in which it sets, but that's I mean that's stuff I think about, to be honest. Like the order in which people set, like how they set their cards and stuff, like how fast they set cards. Like those are all information you get. Like that's actually like information. Like if your opponent sets three cards and then the fifth, and then if your opponent goes set three back row, and then they think for like 3 minutes and set one more, like it like that means that card they're setting is actually important. At least that's how I interpret it. Actually, when I played against Joe, I remember he like took some time to set a gear because he was evaluating whether or not if it was gonna get hit. I think because that's why like even if like like this is a good example too. If I mean we'll watch this too, but even like YUGIOH history. Oh shit! I typed YouTube wrong. I'm freaking stupid. But like like this is why I think this type of content is like so good at getting better. I need to do I want to do more of this, like this commentating, talking over the replays and stuff, because I don't think a lot of people do it like really well, or some people just don't do it at all. But let me see which one, like this, I think it was this one, but like he took time to like think about setting. Yeah, you had two. Yeah, I watched both of them, but there was one like instance where like you thought about like setting gear, and then I played so bad into the gear, even though I had a suspicion it was. But like, and that was like another issue that that I'm working on as a player, which is like if I make the read, then I need to play assuming that read instead of like, you know what I mean? Because it's like one thing to like make the read, but then if I'm not acting on that, then why did I even think? You know what I mean? Like I don't know. Like that was like something that I like got out of from like our game, but that's kind of like the mindset that generally I feel like people need to have as they play these games, as what they can do better and all that good stuff, right? But yeah. So like even like I said, like there's so much information with like the way people set and stuff like that, like it seems like subtle, but I don't know, I think it's pretty important. Has a video of it, bro? Oh yeah. Yeah, I'll show the Trap Eldritch deck after, yeah. It does shoot, nice. But like, I still don't understand why he set that before he attacked. Like that was still something I never really understood still. Like I was still trying to figure this out. Like I'm like, he set this, he normals, then he attacks. He passes. Oh, morphing jar. Oh, that's what it was. Oh, that makes sense. Let's bring on the set just in case. I'm out for real. Love you guys. Peace. Jar. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. I mean, yo, that's what I'm saying, yo. Like, you're setting Dust Shoot 100%. Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, you're setting Dust Shoot 100% regards to set monsters. So, yeah, that makes sense. Holy, yeah. But, bro, this is what I'm talking about, yo. This is, no, dude, tell me. Bro, if people do this for modern Yu-Gi-Oh, um, like if people do this for modern Yu-Gi-Oh, it'll be so insane. That's why I want to start doing a lot more of this. Like I was actually gonna stream like me playing DB and walking you through the process about how like I play my hands out and like what I'm thinking. Essentially. Yeah, like isn't DB Grinder the right version? It's not like, because the thing with like, because the thing is, DB Grinder isn't actually like playing those games. So when he does commentating, like he commentates on like what he sees between two players. But what's even, I think the step above that is to, like, I think the step above that is to basically talk about the thought process. And that's like the hardest part. Because if you're not playing the game, if you're not actually the person, like, you know what I mean? That's like really hard. And so like the next step between just like looking as an outsider point of view into like two people playing each other is to like get into the head of the person actually playing. And like understanding their thought process on why they play what they play, right? You know, because it's so easy to commentate, you know, if someone's playing good or bad, when like it's so easy to make the judgment. It's not, I'm not saying it's not easy to commentate. That's the wrong wording. It's so easy to make judgment if someone played bad or not played, or like played poorly, when you're seeing it between when you see both players' hands. You know what I'm saying? And like you see it from both sides. Like that stuff is like so like, it's like almost unfair, I feel like, to make that evaluation, because in like the heat of, I mean, yes, like, you know, there's definitely a right or a wrong play after we've seen like after the fact, but at the moment in time, it's very, very hard to like figure out what is the right play. So that's why the step above that is to kind of like talk about, you know, what is like the best play here? Like, should I go for this route A or route B? And then the player ends up turning route A. It turns out to be like the wrong route, and they get punished, and they probably lose the game from it. And then there's like the route B, you know what I'm saying? Like, but that's kind of like what I was kind of like trying to get at, basically. If you do that, it would be the same as progression series with the views. Hopefully, bro, Lolly. But WK and Joe in the chat, legends. Yeah, both here in the chat right now. True, but does use an auto set and activate. Yeah. I feel like it's very often you're playing someone who's unfamiliar with contractions so much more than modern Yu-Gi-Oh! Yeah, but I think, like, to be fair though, if you were to play someone in modern, and if I sit across someone who like, you can just tell if they're newer to the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you sit in front of someone, even in modern, it's regardless of what format. If you sit across someone, it's very easy to tell if they're new. Like, it's very easy to tell. It's so easy to tell. Like, you can just feel it, right? Like, so I don't think it's just like I feel like if you played a format more, I feel like making reads and card interactions are so much easier, right? But that's what I've been kind of talking about for the past like couple of like streams and like past month, that, you know, to get better as a player, one of the things that really helps is understand, or a boomer. True. One of the things that I was gonna say is that if you think about what makes a really good player in any format is their understanding of the card pool. And this is what I was trying to kind of get at, where I was like, you know, you got to actually play the format. You got to play a lot. If you play the format a lot, your card pool knowledge and like your understanding of like making reads and everything, like, it just goes off the roof. Like, bro, you're making like nice reads because, you know, you play the format so much. Like, you know what cards are being played. It's very hard to like be taken aback. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's why I like think about it, and I'm like, yo, that's actually like that's why, like, bro, I feel like I gave the example too, and I'm like, if when Billy played back in 2011, I guaranteed you he probably knew every single card in that format. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's what I kind of mean. That's what I mean. Like card pool knowledge is so, like, it's so broken. Like, it's so good. Like, when you play against a Tri-Brigade player, you can pretty much tell. Like, everything in like every card in their deck. Like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone's playing a very standard list. Like, you can basically make all the right reads, right? Like, that's why when people like go to YUGIOH'S and they deck build, like, the stuff that you can't really read is cards you haven't seen before played, and that's an advantage. Like, when, for example, Raphael played like what's that card? The Shared Ride. No one expected Shared Ride in the Tri-Brigade deck. At least, like, if you weren't, like, in their testing group, no one really expected it. So, like, when someone Shared Ride you, you're like, oh, shoot, like, I didn't expect that. You know what I'm saying? But for the most part, most people, I like there was, bro. I'm talking about this in the sense that every person I've played at that YCS, I felt comfortable like knowing like basically I can read like basically how they built their deck just by cards they play. You know what I mean? If they played the cat or like the zoo version, like that basically determines whether or not ashing Tenki makes sense. Because like you would ash Tenki if they were playing the zoo version, because getting a zoo like can destroy you. Like, you know what I mean? Like that, basically that thought process and all that good stuff. Yo, Gage, thank you for the host, bro. Appreciate you, man. So that's my thing on this. But yeah, I mean, so yeah, what I'm also trying to get at is, yo, I think I'm gonna be trying to learn Goat and maybe practice some Goat. But the ways that I like when I was learning the game, right, and as I'm trying to learn Goat now, this is what I did. Like I watched like good players. But there wasn't a lot of content like this for Modern. So, like, I had to go on, like, live streams and try to figure out how they... like, I literally had to try to, like, read their minds. Which wasn't the greatest process. But, you know, as I kept watching more players play, like, it helped a lot. But, you know, that's why, like, content like this is, like, bro, it's... Look how many views this have. 1,300 views? Bro, this is, like, one of the best content, like, ever. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is, like, the stuff that we need. Yeah, so he's explaining here like the thought process. And you do this in Modern too, actually. You do this in Modern too, where like if your opponent normal summons a D, he's saying if your opponent normal summons a DD Warrior Lady, the odds of that being a torrential is very low because it just doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? It just doesn't logically make sense. In Modern, there are situations like that too that comes up where like if your opponent plays their cards a certain way, it just doesn't make sense to not play it the other way. You know, so it gives like tells about like cards in their hand. So like, for example, like in the YCS final, when I play against Dragon Link, when my opponent activated KS Base and I didn't ash it, and then after that he normal summons a so here I'll just show you the match. Yo, like let me see. I feel like content like is incredible. It isn't Yu-Gi-Oh, but it's pure content. I gotta watch this. It's crazy. You learn how to think this format from one video. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's insane, yo. Like, that's sick. But I remember, so, like, when my opponent game 2, like, this is what I was trying to talk about. Like how you make, like, deductive reasoning, basically. Oh, shit. I kind of... they just pinpointed me nibbing him. So he goes KS Space Pitch Seyfert. And then at this point, I'm like, okay, he went KS Space Pitch Seyfert. And he gets to add a he's like, I thought about ashing this. I'm like, I decided to be patient because I also had nib, so it makes sense to like not ash this because you can go like ash nib. But he does this, and watch what he does immediately. He searches his card, but watch what he does after. He normal summons Chamber. So in my head, I'm like, okay, wait, hold up. If he went KS Space, Pitch Seyfert, and then and then first of all, Droll's is in this format, right? Like Droll's in this format. So this was like earlier. I know we played 2 weeks after, but Droll's in this format. So if you're playing around Droll, you would normal Chamber first, get the trap, because the trap guarantees if you can only get one search, you want your search to be tidying because it beats Prank Kids. He knows I'm on Prank Kids. But the fact that you went KS Space Pitch Safer first and then normal Chamber, that immediately just tells me he has one of the cards in his hand is a Gamma. Like, logically, it has to be a Gamma. Like, that's the only reason why he would activate KS Space first, to bait something, and then normal summon the Chamber. Like that was the only way, like, I like, made that deduction. Like, it just made, like, I'm like, I could be wrong, right? It could just be, like, he's just played this way because he just happened to just play this play randomly. But, you know, when I see him play, like, that's kind of, like, the thought process that was going in my head, at least. But... yeah, I think I want to start doing stuff like this for Modern. Like, basically, just, like, playing games and, like, just kind of, like, talking about my hands and why I played what I did. It's funny because he did have Gamma. Yeah, and then I got rewarded because, weird, later, look what happened. He's going to activate Ravine. Yeah, he activated Ravine, pitch Gamma. And I'm like, yo, if I ashed him there, I would have gotten cooked. Like, I would have lost immediately. I would have actually lost immediately, even though I drew, like, good hand traps. But Yeah, yo, I like that. Yo, do you see that? Like, yo, I thought this was so neat. Like, he talked about like he had like two plays he was considering. So this is what I was kind of like trying to get at. Like, basically the decision tree, like the two like like the roads that are being presented to you, like left and right. And he basically was kind of like saying like there are two paths to like basically like playing through this quote unquote board, if you would say that. And he talked about like which play made the most sense to sequence first. But bro, this is like sequencing in freaking 2005, whatever. I don't know what year GOAT was. I feel like it's 2005, if I'm not mistaken. But like, wait, we do that today too. You know what I'm saying? Like, what card do you play first? Like, cause like it's a card that what I'm saying. If it gets ash, then the card that you want to resolve the most would probably be second, right? Because you don't want it. You don't want the first. Because most people ash the first card they see. Yeah, so you're seeing some like similarities here. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, yo, like this is connecting. This is like, oh, this is making kind of sense. The thing is, this guy knew all this Dale's entire hand, so that's something to keep in mind too. Yeah, so now he's like doing TR, so like basically like the mileage that he's talking about is like basically getting more turns to accumulate advantage and like making him commit a lot of resources out the TR. So and he also has Tsukiyomi TR, so he can keep snatching. This guy opened pot duo dust shoot, bro. And he held his duo mainly because I think he saw Dale use Thunder Dragon, so like the duo becomes a lot. I feel like it's not like it's not a bad card, but it becomes a lot worse when you're opponent Thunder Dragons, right? Because there's more like worse cards to hit off the duo. Bro, this Dale literally keep in mind he literally got dust shooted and duoed. He got rip. He got hand loop for 3 cards, and potted on. Yo, I don't know. You guys think he's gonna win? I think he wants a 25% chance to hit Suk. Yeah, I think so too. I think he wants to hit the Tsukiyomi as well. That's why he has to do it now. Um, so I agree with that. So he misses. He misses here. He misses. He misses the 25%, and then so Dale just like doesn't get punished until he gets onto TR. Yeah. So this guy. So this is interesting, right? Because Dale's gonna talk about this. Why the hell did this dude normal summon when he's seen Dale's hand and knows that he has a Suki play with the TR? So but now okay, we're listening to Dale's logic here. What he makes out of this? Yeah, just crash into Kaiku. Yeah, crash into Kaiku and just suck him, right? Ah. So now, yeah, that's I like that because now that because he dueled this guy's hand, now he has more information on like what cards he can potentially have, just because of the cards that are gone. Which is another like really dope, interesting thing here. Crashing into Kaiku Sen's nice. Yeah, this is Dale Bolito. Yeah, this is Dale Bolito. Oh, I just realized that the VOD is. Hold on, shoot. I need to fix it so that 1 second, chat. Oh my god, I just realized this. I need to fix it so that voice meter this shows up as desktop audio. 1 second. How do I? Let me do this. But yeah, this is Dale. So this is that.
You get greedy and attack with the warrior with the Tsukiyomi.
Yeah, that should be good. Okay.
So it's either one of two things.
Oh, I'm so dumb. I forgot to put this in desktop audio because
It's
I usually who's Dale. I'm a zoomer. Dale Bolito, I think he's like one of he's a really really good Yu-Gi-Oh player. He's like one of the two brothers, like Lazardo and Dale. Like they were really well known back in the day. I mean, if you want to look up Dale Bolito, he has a lot of he just was. I think he won an SEC. He also started playing a little bit of Modern at some points in time too. But yeah, he won SGC Chicago. So this was actually this was October. He also, I think, popularized Tomato Control. I'm pretty sure he was the first person to play this Tomato Control deck. I think in his testing group or something, maybe. But he popularized this Tomato deck as well. I mean, I don't even know how many tops these are. Like, this is kind of insane. He also topped Toronto? No way, that's insane. I mean, it makes sense. Toronto's like literally so close. If there was a YCS near me, I would go every time, right? There's no point not to. But he played Karakuri's. Didn't even know that. I've seen this deck profile, but it's pretty cool to see him play over the years too. Even though he started playing all the way in 2005, like maybe even before. Maybe he played 2002. But yeah, just a very strong player. That like from back in the day. That unless you like I don't know. Yeah, old school SJC Sam, highly respected. Yeah. Members of best Canadian team ever, and Super Friends, Cardmasters, and eventually Team Overdose. Yeah, yeah. Joe gave the better introduction, but I mean he's one of the goats. Just look at those X values, like $100. Yeah, I mean compared to back in the day, they're definitely way more. But yeah,
either Ring or another book. The reason
Ring or another book.
Why I don't think it's book is I think he
Dale guaranteed he would win the SGC he won and did it. Oh, did he really? Yo, that's insane. Did he really do that? That's actually crazy. Yeah, I know he's a very confident / cocky person, like even in interviews. But I don't know. I never like the way he was like confident and cocky about a lot of this stuff. It never put me off. I don't know why, but I feel like it was like a combination of like humble and like cockiness. I can't explain it. But when I was watching like the podcast with like Gate Guardian, I don't know. I wasn't really like taken aback by it. I don't know. It was interesting. Usually people who are like really cocky, I'm like taken aback by. But for some reason, I didn't really feel anything. I don't know. It feels interesting. I don't know. It was interesting.
Attacked for me. The TR last turn because he won't be able to get past the Tsukiyomi, but that would give him light and dark. So the reason why I make the secondary play again, so a lot of the times you're catching me make the secondary, which is like in my opinion the first play, but it's when you're against better players, they try to bait you into stuff. So I make the secondary play of setting Reaper here only because I need to stay ahead on the board with monsters. Then when I decide to make the Tsukiyomi play, if it gets blown up by something, I still have an extra monster to block, and Kaiku won't be able to hit my 2 darks in grave. This
would DB's all good now?
Play.
Okay, sounds
Again,
good.
Kaiku is
I want to finish this game. I kind of want to watch the rest of this.
Is insane in this matchup. So I decided to just set Reaper.
I guess he didn't want to go. He didn't want to like get punished by the bait.
Sets another back row. So I draw Saku, which is obviously amazing in this matchup. And now I can make this play, right? If I go...
You have a Frankie list I can play at locals tomorrow? I don't know if I have one. I got to check.
But I kind of have to play here now. And Warriors are going to set regardless. Like, even if he drew a dust shoot, he's probably going to set it. Where he should keep it in hand for, obviously, a graceful. But now, when I make the Tsukiyomi play, if I get blown up... So my read was
Ring.
So I
So
was right
he
on
read
that read,
ring.
it being ring or book. So it being ring means if I made this play last turn without, I didn't have the Saku, he'd definitely be able just to get through life points, putting me down a bit and removing both darks or both lights, whichever.
Oh, you
So at least
can.
this
I didn't realize you can. Oh, that's cool though. That you can ring a face down monster. That's pretty cool.
with Reaper, I still have one more piece. So his turn, he
Wow, that's actually
draws
insane.
knock. Obviously draws knock.
Yo,
Um,
that was kind of sick, yo. Oh, he changed chilling two to Suki. Oh, okay, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense. And then he's like, yo, obviously he draws an. You heard that? That was hilarious. Hold on, I gotta put this back.
so his turn, he draws knock. Obviously draws knock. Um,
I thought that was funny.
which sucks. Knocks the Reaper. But again, that just saves me 2 turns of not getting hit by Kaiku.
Yeah.
Where last turn, if I didn't set the
setting
Reaper, made the
Reaper
Suki
like
play,
actually helped him a lot because what he's saying is that he would have gotten like chip damage for 18, and then like his graveyard would have gone messed up. So his chaos monster becomes so much worse.
wouldn't have an open board, and then next turn I'd set the Reaper. He would draw this knock still, and still hit me for 18. So the reason I decided to take it here instead of Saku is obviously I have Tsukiyomi, and I'm pretty loaded with lights and darks.
Yeah, so he's in. Oh, he has like the third dark, so he's
he
fine.
should actually be banishing the Thunder Dragons, but I think he opts for the darks, which not terrible.
Yeah, life
So
points
my
is a
turn, draw
resource.
Sorcerer, which is
Jesus.
crazy good. I mean, it's only fair he got to draw knock, so. So again, if I go, this plays back to all the plays that I was looking to make. So again, if I instead of decided to set Reaper and summon the Tsukiyomi, where I didn't, this is still going that same line of play. If I went Thousand Eyes, on the Thousand Eyes play, I made the Tsukiyomi, tried to Suki lock him, and it got blown up, and he hit me with the Kaiku. And he drew another back row the next turn, and I tried to Tsukiyomi and attack. It would actually meet a Mirror Force. So if I lost the Tsukiyomi instead of the Reaper, I would not be able to get past this Kaiku. So the importance of Tsukiyomi in this matchup is, one, it runs over a lot of the monsters, and 2, it actually plays on shutting down Kaiku. So obviously main phase 2 Kaiku, because like if he draws a breaker, that sucks, draw MST, and then I wouldn't be able to play it. So again, his outs to this Kaiku is Snatch, Exiled, and obviously his own Chaos Monster he'll have to run his Kaiku in, and reinforcements. So he's down to like a limited amount of outs. He has a lot of non-playable cards in this matchup, or in this position. So my turn, I draw Scapegoat. So he draws sets, I draw Scapegoat, attack with Sorcerer. So Scapegoat's amazing. Is very strong in this matchup. His turn, he gets the Exiled in 2 turns. So I mean, eventually he was going to get an answer. Better Exiled than another Chaos Monster, or than his 1 Chaos Sorcerer. I think 1 or 2 Chaos Sorcerers or a Snatch Steal.
Yeah, Exile Force is so broken, guys. It's really like priority pop.
So my turn, draw Charity, pass. There's no point in really charitying here.
Yo,
maybe hope to get a.
How many of you would have activated Charity Deer? Yo, don't lie, chat. Don't lie, chat. How many of you would have just literally drew this and just activated right off the bat? How many of you would just like slam this card down? Never. I know y'all would. Kappa. All you guys. Easy. All of us.
Sinister, but I don't really need to push.
Yo, guilty. Yeah. Yeah, I know so many of you guys would be like this. Be like. So many of you would just slam that, yo.
Anything, I have very reactive cards in Saku and Scapegoat. So his turn, draw. Greed. And he passes with. So it's very odd to see them keep a card in hand and not make a play. Especially with this aggro type of deck. So
you know you would have 2 until this moment.
I mean, one of the things.
To be honest, I would. Maybe the opponent's at 700 and not 7,000. Yeah. Yeah, true. Yeah, but nah, to be honest, I probably would too. Holy smokes. But to be fair though, in my head, it like I had a feeling when he drew this card, I knew he wasn't gonna slam it. To be honest, it made no sense. Like literally, like I don't like because basically you would just get a free card, right? Like, but it made no sense because I like there's not much tempo that you like swing favors in. Just getting a one card rip off of that. I don't know. There wasn't like anything that you could have ripped. Like you're just playing like more reactive and you're just playing like way safer, basically. Seeing what cards you need and all
They
that good
won't
stuff.
do is they won't summon a chaos monster into an open field just to attack into 2 face downs. So that's a read to make on that.
None at all. Wait to
So
see
I
what they
draw
do in
Faith
Dig for
and
now.
Graceful
Yeah,
here.
exactly. You just wait. You're just chilling, right? Just be a little bit more. You just change the game plan to be more reactive. Like I don't know what you do that like changes your tempo that makes it like insane. But yeah, maybe like breaker, pop the back row, but like really nothing else. And even then,
So obviously I just set Faith only because I could blow up a Blade Knight or a level 2 play, and I could maybe double Graceful next turn. But worst case scenario, let's say this gets
double
triggered
graceful.
and
Sheesh.
by like anything gets triggered.
He also
and
he
by,
also like his opponent also doesn't have access to heavy too. You could have set graceful if you really wanted to.
a breaker, for example, a breaker
I think like maybe you could have even set graceful. I don't know.
that connects. I still get back Snatch, which is
There's
solid
no more
in this
heavy
matchup.
left.
So Snatch is like one of the cards that Graceful looks to dig for. So might as well just get that back if that happens. So his turn, he draws end phase MST or draw phase MST, hits the Scapegoat. So I choose not to play the Scapegoat here, only because one...
It goes that you're safe from Reaper, so probably not needed. So it says there's no out to Breaker. Oh, yeah, true. True. I forgot the goat was set. Yeah, because the only thing I was afraid of was Reaper. Like, that's why you would set it. But yeah, that makes sense.
I'm goat locked. I would goat lock myself. 2, I have less cards in deck. So if he just decides to draw pass, it's only a Faith here. And 3, I've actually used my Thunder Dragons to break my goat lock. So
Oh, he would get goat locked. Yeah, that's actually
if he
so
just keeps
cool.
setting monsters,
Like,
I literally...
so when I was watching this, I didn't understand it at first, but then the more I thought about it, I'm like, oh, shoot. That actually makes so much sense. The reason why he doesn't flip the tier is because you're going to lock yourself out. Like, he just decides, he's just going to keep drawing cards, and you Mystic Mine yourself. You basically Mystic Mine yourself. He's just going to be chilling. Like, literally, all he has to do is just chill and let him deck out.
cannot get through his board.
I once gold locked myself. I was new with this format, Kappa. Yeah, I didn't understand that. And I'm like, oh, shit, that actually makes so much sense.
So yeah, it's what, like, if he goes like anything really, like I just cannot scapegoat. If I scapegoat, I probably lose this game because he's smart enough just to goat lock me through the remaining. And it's something that I see very often. A lot of people just goat for no reason or goat for life points. You can't goat in this scenario. So he goes breaker, hits the right set of cards. So like if he went the other way, like if he MST'd the Saku and hit my scapegoat, I would chain scapegoat because I would run a goat token into the breaker next turn. Where if he hit the scapegoat first, he might not even do anything.
Seem to Boab should be soon.
So
I'm still
let's
waiting
look
for
at
all the
order
cards
of
to come.
order of playing his cards. So again, that card is still in his hand. So decides to set it.
Wait, hold on. I like didn't hear that. Why did that guy set first before he attacks again?
His card. So again, that card is still in his hand. So decides to set it. So obviously get back Snatch in this scenario. Best card there. I mean, I could get back Goats, but I only have
morphing?
one.
Morphing again. Okay, that's why.
I believe I only have one.
Yo,
right
Victory,
now,
thank
but
you
I
for
still
the
think
9,
Snatch
bro.
is stronger.
Always
So
jar.
draw me
It's
a
gonna be
force.
always
Now
jar.
I'm kind of forced to Graceful here. Breaker.
Oh,
Best time to
breaker,
Graceful because I
crackback?
draw one of my dead cards in knock. Pitch knock Goats.
Yeah, I had a drawback
Keeping
here,
a force
yeah.
is much stronger.
Since Dale gets to face with info, yeah. And it's probably a card he wants to
the
keep,
reason
right?
I
So it's probably a
choose to
spell.
attack with Breaker here is I can't remember if that was a card that he didn't set. I'll look back at it after. If that he drew and passed, unless that was the breaker. And kept it in hand. So I'm attacking only because maybe it could be a dead card. Could be. It's obviously not a knock. He would have knocked. Could be a dust shoot. Could be something. But I think I just try to get the +1 here because having a 19 breaker up would still be big. And if the attack goes through, I wouldn't even pop it because the read on it is dead. So it's a book.
Oh, that actually was kind of genius, to be honest. Going to battle phase and attacking basically did, like, you would have gotten the value out of it anyways, because if you attack and they use a back row to out your monster, then Breaker did his job at hitting the back row anyways. And if it goes through, then you just kill the back row and you go +1. You go +1 and you keep the body. That actually makes so much sense. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Book, which is okay. Set force.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was like, holy shit, that's insane.
So attack, I take it. No point in mirror forcing this. I'll get much more mileage out of that mirror force. So all standard stuff. Draw Tsukiyomi, which is kind of the reason why I like playing double. There's a lot of cool Tsukiyomi plays you can do, like from my last video, and just inherently in this matchup, it just runs over a lot of stuff.
Yo, guys, I'm actually so sad. I sold my ulti Sukes, and I regret it. Yeah, fuck, I regret that shit, man.
So Suki attack.
That card is so good, yeah.
So again, he draws, doesn't set or play. So
yeah. God, you misplayed.
Obviously, it could be maybe the read on it could be a chaos monster.
I have CP books and stuff like that, but yeah, I'm sick.
Another monster that he didn't want to summon. Just he didn't want to walk into a torrential or a mirror force. So he draws, sets right away, and passes. So I draw. So I set the book only because I know Storm is gone. So right now there's no real read on what that back row could be. It could be and it could be really anything at this point.
Yeah, I like the fact that you missed that too. Sometimes you can't read back row, right? Like there's not enough deductive reasoning to like back up what you think it could be. So like, you know, like for example, him saying right there, like, yo, like it could literally be anything, right? Like it's like that's a great judgment. There was like literally nothing that could give you info on like what that back row is, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I think that's like a really important part to like also note.
So he draws, summons Blade Knight right away. Attack, I take it. No point in mirror forcing this. I have to save the mirror force for something else because he doesn't know what the mirror force is, but he does know the snatch. So he's not gonna give me a good time to snatch. It's like I'm gonna have to. The time I can probably snatch a chaos monster is when he has protection, like a book or a solemn, or it's too late and he's attacking for game with it.
Good players.
Like he's a very good player. He's not gonna put me in a position. I'm gonna have to burn the snatch soon.
I'll show you guys some of my replays with my trap deck.
So I draw, meta, dead right now. So I take my time, gotta think about the play I want to make. Obviously, I said it already. I choose to snatch here because I'm thinking, I'm running in my mind, he's not going to give me a position to snatch at all in the future. So this is probably going to be the best chance.
Yeah, I can show the deck list after.
And it's time to play through the back rows, trying to see what they have. So I snatch, Tsukiyomi, up, down. So he gave it right away on snatch, so that's kind of an indicator of what that might be. I can make the safe play here and just attack with the Tsukiyomi. And, well, Mirror Force is already gone. So he would have torrential this anyways. So I attack with both, even if it eats a Saku, that's okay. But part of the read here is that he gave it away pretty quickly, no hesitation. So get the Tsukiyomi back in hand. His turn. I already have the read on Sorcerer, so I banish it right away. The read on Sorcerers, he's not going to give me the opportune time to play the Snatch. So I'm already assuming that card that was drawn.
Yo, Dale's insane, bro. He's like, yo, I already know you got it, so I'm going to banish it for you, bro. That's insane. Yo. Dude, he's literally insane, bro. He's literally like, yo, I'll banish the light monster for you. Here you go. Yeah, you're summoning a Chaos Stork here.
Gone past a few turns ago is a sorcerer. You could see me banish it. I also banish it because I just force him. I tell him, I know you have it in hand, just play it. Right?
Yo.
So
Yo.
yeah, which he does. And then he sets another back row.
Yo, that's insane.
So I think regardless of what he drew that turn,
Yo, that's
he
actually
would be
insane.
setting that card.
Yo,
So my turn.
yo, literally, did you see that? Yo, he literally like, cause the guy was like, put it back and stuff, and then he's like, yo, he literally took the Blade Knight again from the banish and put it back, summoned it, and then banished it again just to show him what's up.
Sengen, which is actually really, really, really good at this point. Because let's see what's gone. One knock is gone, and the warrior lady is gone.
What's this guy's credentials?
So and then I would have
yo, Deli, yo, you not just ask that, bro. Yo. Yo, Deli's about to be like, ah, shit. Ah, shit, yo. All right.
the TR play with the sinister. So I make a little bit of a mistake here. This is a small mistake, but it's kind of on. So I have a read on his back row now, the first set, only because the way he was playing earlier.
Oh, fuck. Yeah, Deli's like, ah, shit. God, y'all. These, Toss from 2007?
Is
Yo,
on turn
man,
one he goes
stop.
DD Warrior Lady before he attacks, like his auto set
He
was
just
a
doesn't
back row,
play it
and
much
that
anymore,
ended
I
up
think.
being Dust Shoot. And I think inherently they just automatically set Dust Shoot even when they see it. And I could eventually get to that point. So I set here, and I'm thinking, oh, I probably should have set the morph so I don't get blown up by a Dust Shoot. But anyways, he goes upstart. Give me some life back. So he attacks here. And if I have a read on that's a Dust Shoot, he's gonna make my Dust Shoot live, Dust Shoot and Solemn, which is, well, I'm not calling it. You don't see me call it Solemn now, but he attacks and I force. And if you notice in the chat, he says think, and I say 1950 half, just to call out a Solemn.
Yo. Knowing the Sangan with 2 in hands versus Dust Shoots important when playing one, never make dead Dust Shoots live. Yeah. I think that was a great point. Like not letting him attack this so that Dust Shoot becomes live for no reason was actually, yeah, that's actually insane. Yeah. But yeah, this BM is insane, right? Yeah, okay, besides the BM, the point there was actually really crucial. The fact that you attack Sangan so that an extra card, yeah. The mistake was not setting meta, like he said, yeah.
But if
then,
he had...
Then he gets to save Mirror Force, yeah. If he set meta, then he would get to save it, yeah.
Solemn and Dust Shoot, the correct play, in my opinion, for most flips in this deck is to Solemn, because if it's 1 Tsukiyomi, you get through it. 2, if it's any of the flips, I'm automatically going to go to 4 cards, or if it's a Sangan, I'm going to 4 cards, and that would make the Dust Shoot live.
Maybe his opponent's nice with pack buffs.
But anyways,
nah, I think he's very well known in the GOAT community too. I don't know who is actually behind this, but I think this guy literally wins like hella GOAT format tournaments or GOATformat.com. Nah, it's definitely he just won. Look at this. This guy just won like, what is this, August 16? Yeah, he just won 2 days ago. It's the same dude.
the Mirror Force goes through. I draw MST. So disconnects.
Hey, yo, wait, DB had this function back then? When was this? Oh, 2021. Oh, okay, I was about to say, what the hell? He would have gone a game loss. He would have gone a game loss, yo. Nah. All right.
So now, like, I want to make sure I don't put myself in a scenario to get Dust Shooted at all. I'm fast forwarding here. I'm hitting next play, but you're not. in that time during the matchup, he actually takes a lot of time to think with letting the sorcerer go to the grave. So I kind of know he has an answer. And I don't think it's the first set because he willingly gave up that Blade Knight really quickly.
Well, wasn't it this set? This set's probably Dushu, right? This set's been here for like 10 years.
So attack with Sangan. Some
Yeah.
can only put it down
Yeah. I was thinking this set is probably Dushu. It's been here for like literally 10 years.
just so I don't get hit by Dawn. If I get Torrential, I get Torrential. It's just one of those things.
Literally, I grew gray hairs.
I would search Sinister.
As Dushu still sitting there. Light
Suzuki
plate.
comes back. His turn. He's thinking. So the deck normally doesn't set anything. Obviously, we can see by that stats that's a skilled Dark Magician. But obviously, I don't know at the time. So I draw for my turn. I rip BLS, which is amazing. So this BLS needs to come down, and I have to navigate through the back rows of where the Solemn is. So I already know where the card I'm gonna pick. And once I MST, I actually type Solemn right away. And
Yo, this guy literally said Solemn.
I say wait because my clicker stops working, and I don't want him to think like the furthest card is where I want number 2 for him to automatically assume. So I just say in front of MST, which is a card he set during the summon of Sorcerer. Plus his main deck, which it is the Solemn.
Yo! That's actually insane! Yo! Yo, that's actually insane! Yo, imagine you're playing against someone, you're like, yeah, that's a torrential solemn. Yeah. Nowadays, you don't even need to think. You just activate lightning storm. Yo, you know what I'm saying? Literally just lightning storm right now, but
Summon BLS.
I'd be
If I get
tilted.
torrential
Holy,
here, I get
yeah.
torrential. He might not torrential because he might know that I'm gonna.
I had someone scoop that once. I called double dead avarice. Yeah.
Summon the Tsukiyomi anyways.
Dude, this is like the greatest feeling in like Yu-Gi-Oh, bro. When you like make the right reads. Honestly, I do that a lot when I play. I try to like make reads on back row and stuff, and bro, it's the greatest feeling when you make the right read. Yo, like even yesterday, like I was in a call with like it was like me, Christian, like Fuji, like a bunch of people, and we were like playing this deck that I can't talk about. But anyways, we opened like really insane, and like I was like, yo, I'm pretty sure this guy has tactics. We're gonna Psycho Reader first because he just plays around tactics better, and then yo, it ended up he did have the tactics, and I was like, yo, at the call as well, I was like, yo, let's go. I was like, yo, it had to be because I'm like, yo, I'm not gonna play around call by because like so we had Ash Blossom and then we had Ash Blossom and Psycho Reader against Dytron. So I'm like, bro, we definitely Psycho Reader as the first hand trap because he's gonna tactics us. If we Ash this right now, were you there? Deli, you were not there. Stop the cap. You were not there. You were not there. Because it was like we were like, yo, if you Ash Blossom first and he tactics takes Psycho Reader or body, no way.
But banish.
Stop the cap. No cap. No
Banish
cap.
Still dark. Summon Tsukiyomi. So we obviously put
Deli-
the BLS down here.
Deadly doesn't join court anymore, boys. Waiting those OTS qualifiers got to his head. Shake my head.
Because
One Ecclesia match changes a person, bro. 2 changes everything, y'all.
only one out to the BLS here is a knock versus his multiple outs of another Chaos Monster.
No, I swear it was no
and
cap.
a Snatch Steal, which I could blow up the Snatch Steal, but I'd rather not really have to worry about it.
I'm just fucking with you, bro. 1 or 2 Ecclesia.
So I could try to go for game here by morphing the BLS, but it's just if it gets eaten up by Saku, I would just lose my answer to anything next turn. Right, so next play.
Yo, chat. I'm about to train watching these videos.
At this point, if he dawns, I'm good. Like it's done. It's nothing at this anymore. I have a BLS on board. So again, make the safe play. Don't Gatling for no reason.
Gatling for no reason, yeah.
So lose a Tsukiyomi on his turn.
You tribute summon Diviner to attack for game. Oh, sick. God, yes.
He draws.
Oh my God. I'm
and
out.
he concedes at this point. So
This is content. Dave
um,
is insane. Yeah, that's what
he
I'm
draws
trying
a
to talk about,
Kaiku.
bro. Like,
But let's see, on the whole time, the read this being
I'm gonna
does
start
shoot
doing stuff like
was
this.
right.
I'm gonna start doing content. Like, yo, it was the shoot. Yo, yeah, you know, like he was making the right read. Yeah, I'm like, yo, this middle card's been here for like 50 years,
Of
bro.
it being does shoot. So just playing around it made it dead the whole time. He actually had one opportunity to let it be live, and yeah, just was managed to have the right read at an earlier time. So one of the big things is you had the right read on the does shoot, you had the right read on the solemn, and yeah, that's just kind of how I navigate. That's my thought process during the Warrior matchup. Game 2 is actually an insane game, and it's an hour long. I hope to get it up soon, and I'll probably break up Game 3 as
Yeah, yo. Hey, see, like, yo, man, what? Wow, content, man. That was great, yo. You guys enjoyed that? I enjoyed that, man.